Hello and welcome back to Taxtron Web Tutorial Video Series. Today, we are delving into a topic that has the potential to save you a significant amount of money during tax season, the loss carryback strategy. So, what exactly is loss carryback? Well, simply put, it's a method to utilize capital losses from one tax year to offset capital gains from a previous year, potentially reducing your tax burden. How does it work? Let's break it down. If you have experienced a capital loss in a given year, you are required to apply it against any taxable capital gains for that same year. If there's still a loss remaining, it can be carried back to offset taxable gains from up to 3 previous years, or carried forward to offset gains in future years. To utilize net capital losses from prior years to reduce current year taxable capital gains, claim a deduction on line 25,300 of your income tax and benefit return. To carry a current year net capital loss back to 2020, 2021, or 2022, complete Form T1A, request for loss carryback, and include it with your 2023 income tax and benefit return. Now, we will see how we can request a loss carryback. Let's walk through an example using our fictional taxpayer, John. John sold some publicly traded shares in 2023, incurring a capital loss of $35,000. Let's log into web.taxtron.ca. For this example, I have already completed the personal identification details of the taxpayer. Now, suppose this individual disposed of some publicly traded shares which they originally purchased for $50,000. They sold them in 2023 at a loss of $35,000. To report this, go to the Profile step under Income. Answer the question, did you sell shares or mutual funds? Then, click Next until you land on the step labeled Investment Statements and select Sales of Shares. Here, you will enter the details of the sale. Input the proceeds of disposition as $15,000 and the adjusted cost base as $50,000. This will result in a capital loss of $35,000. After completing these steps, you can print the record keeping under Review and File. In Schedule 3, you will see the loss reported on line 13200, indicating a net capital loss of $17,500. Now, let's discuss how to utilize this net capital loss. You have a couple of options. You can use it to offset any capital gains you have in the current year. Alternatively, you can carry it back to offset gains from previous years, such as 2020, 2021, or 2022. To carry back the loss, you will need to complete Form T1A, Request for Loss Carryback, and include it with your 2023 income tax and benefit return. For this tax return, let's proceed with applying for the loss carryback using Form T1A. Now, let's navigate to the step where we need to report our previous year's capital gains. There are 2 methods to report it. Firstly, you can autofill from CRA, which will automatically populate all of your previous year's capital gains, and the loss will be applied automatically. Alternatively, you can manually enter the values and adjust them if needed. In the second method, you will be completing it manually by entering the information yourself. Let's get started. Navigate to the step called Deduction. You will find a section called Losses Carryover. Answer the question, do you have any losses from prior years, and click on Capital Losses. Then, click Next. At first, you will see the option to select the year. You can report the taxable capital gain in the specific text box. You can add multiple instances as shown on the screen. For example, we've entered capital gains for the years 2000, 2003, 2006, 2010, and 2012. Once you have completed entering the information, scroll to the bottom. You will see a section called Capital Loss Available for Carryback, where you can see the $17,500. Further down, you will see that there's a request available to apply the net capital loss to 2020, 2021, and 2022. Choose the year to which you want to apply the loss. Enter the income and then enter how much net capital loss you want to request to carry back. For this example, I am applying $12,450. To verify this, let's print the record keeping again. Go to Review and File and print the record keeping. Scroll to Form T1A, Request for Loss Carryback. Then, navigate to Section 3, Net Capital Loss for Carryback. You'll see that $12,450 will be applied at line 66380. You can also see the balance of net capital loss available for carryforward, which will be $5,050. By strategically utilizing the loss carryback strategy, John has managed to offset his capital gains from previous years, potentially reducing his tax liability. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.